Negative Calorie Diet, Weight Loss Plans and Meals for Low-Calorie Dieters. Written by Shelby Anderson. Narrated by Mark Booker. Chapter 1. Negative Calorie Diet Plan. A calorie is a unit of heat, and it cannot be negative. So when people talk about negative calorie foods, they are talking about foods whose calorie level is so low that it takes more energy to eat and digest it. Take cold water, for instance. It contains no calories at all, but the body has to expend energy to bring it up to blood temperature. Therefore, every time you drink a glass of cold water, you burn a few calories and lose a little weight. There are very few foods like this. Below are a list of some negative calorie foods to help in your weight loss efforts. A lot of the foods on this list below do not really use more calories than they add. If they do, it is minimum. Our body is always expending energy just to keep us alive and breathing. You are always burning calories. It is not healthy to use these foods as a long-term solution to your weight loss program. Why? Because eating them in abundance could cause serious damage to your body. They could, however, be used as a healthy detox or fasting plan for 1 to 3 days. Provided you are in a healthy state, it can be a great way to clean out your system. You should always get medical advice before doing so. For example, the acid in grapefruit and pineapple can damage your stomach lining. Some of these foods can put excessive burden on the liver and cause diarrhea. They should be incorporated into your diet with other proteins, starches, and vegetables to create a healthy, natural diet. Here is your list of foods that can be incorporated in your daily meals. Apples, asparagus, beets, better when grated, blueberries, broccoli, cantaloupes, carrot, better when grated, cauliflower, celery stalk, celery root, cranberries, cucumbers, eggplant, endives, garden cress, garlic, grapefruit, green beans, green cabbage, lamb's lettuce, lemons, lettuce, onions, papayas, pineapples, prunes, radishes, raspberries, spinach, strawberries, tangerines, tomatoes, turnips, zucchini. Before you start any negative calorie diet plan, you need to find out how this dieting works. How does negative calorie diet helps in overcoming obesity? The digestion of foods begins with chewing. The foods will then be transported to the stomach through the help of esophagus. The process will take from a few minutes to a half an hour. In stomach, where the acid will be released, the food will broken down further for easy digestion in the intestine. The foods will remain in the stomach for about 4 hours before they are sent to small intestine. In the small intestines, the foods will become liquid with the effect from powerful digestive juices, which are released by the gallbladder and pancreas. The body will then absorb the nutrients. The process will take about 4 hours to complete. Then the liquefied foods will move on to the large intestines, where the body will absorb residues. This will take about 12 hours. The last stage is the elimination of undigested foods, waste. All these processes consume calorie, and depending on how much your body uses the calories, you have a chance to be less obese. The diet consists of fruits and vegetables. They are rich with enzymes, which can speed up the metabolism, and fiber, which requires a higher volume of calories for the digestive process. Since these foods require more calorie than what they can provide during the digestion, your body will burn more calorie, which will result in weight loss. You can plan this diet for a week. Make a large pot of soup using foods that have negative calorie effect. Make sure you have enough for the whole week because this is the only food you are feeding to your body and nothing else. During this time, you are not allowed to eat other foods. Whether it is true or not, some suggest that eating more can help you lose more weight. I can't give you an answer. You have to experiment it on yourself. You have to remember that nobody will burn the same amount of calorie when you are on this diet. The drawback of this diet is that we don't know exactly how much energy is used in digesting specific foods. It all depends on personal results. For your case, you should monitor your weight every day to see if there is any drop in your weight. If you experience no weight loss, then maybe you should increase the consumption and do some exercise, since workout will burn some calories. Before you start this negative calorie diet plan, make sure you consult your doctor. Sometimes obesity can be related to other underlying health problems. Now, not all doctors are in favor of this meal plan. The reason why you need to check with them is that you want to make sure that your health are in good condition. This diet does not provide any protein and fats. If your body cannot function properly without them when you are on this diet, then you are endangering your life. The concept behind this diet is that your body will burn the calories in the food so as to run the mechanical and chemical process that digests the particular food. There are foods that contain fewer calories than what is required to digest them. If you eat these foods, then you lose weight gradually. For example, if you eat a type of food that has only 7 calories and your body needs 30 to digest, then you will lose 23 calories. If you have this food 5 times a day for a month, then you will lose almost a pound, which is 3,500 calories. Some of the foods that have negative calories include lettuce, onion, carrots, apples, oranges, asparagus, broccoli, pineapples, raspberries, lemons, and lime. Other negative calorie vegetables are green beans, spinach, cauliflower, beetroot, cucumber, garden cress, and radish. Now you can understand why some of these foods are encourages in other diets. Another advantage is that calories from these foods are very hard to extract. Your body has to work extra hard, leading to loss of more calories. This gives these foods a natural fat-burning advantage. It is very difficult to convert these calories into body fat. The negative calorie diet implies that you can eat your way into losing weight if you stick to these foods. It is viable because all diets are based on taking in less calories and burn more calories to lose weight. You should also exercise and take lots of fluid. Chapter 2. Does it work and help with weight loss? It is a diet that basically has you eating foods which burn more calories through their digestion than they put into your body, effectively neutralizing their own calories and providing weight loss at the same time. The question is, though, does it work? So how does the negative calorie diet work? You may have heard of the apple diet as well. This is a direct spin-off of this diet. As essentially apples are one of the foods allowed on the negative calorie diet, this is in addition to many other fruits and vegetables which are high in fiber content and contain virtually nothing else but water and vitamins. Essentially, by only consuming these foods, which includes leafy green vegetables like spinach, as well as carrots and many other vegetables, you will continually lose weight because you are not consuming many calories, and your body has to burn many more calories than you are consuming on a daily basis. So this sounds like the perfect diet. Lose more than you put in, right? Wrong. It sounds like a perfect plan. What's wrong with this diet? Essentially, the biggest flaw of this diet is that it eliminates necessary forms of calories to maintain proper health, specifically protein and beneficial fats. Over time, this diet could cause severe health problems for anyone, as protein that is not consumed on a daily basis allows the body to start eating away at muscle and connective tissue to obtain the nutrition it needs. If there was a balance and protein and essential fatty acids were allowed, then this diet would have some potential. As it is now, however, the negative calorie diet just has too many negatives. Are there any functional diets that can help me lose weight? Absolutely. Have you not heard of calorie shifting? If not, this is the ideal place for any dieter to start at, since it has one similarity with the negative calorie diet. That is, you are eating to lose weight. Essentially, what calorie shifting does is increase your metabolism on a daily basis because of the foods you eat, and by the end you are burning fat at all times of the day. It beats out every other diet as well because there is no rebound effect. You keep all the results and actually continue to burn fat even once you stop. How to boost your weight loss using a negative calorie diet. Going on a diet can be challenging. We all have to eat sometime, don't we? So, what if there was a way to eat and still lose weight? There are certain foods that can do just that, and I'm not talking about some magical fruit that will make drop pounds just by eating. However, fruit is a very important component of eating that way. I'm talking about adopting a diet using negative calories. The main idea with a negative calorie diet is that our body uses more calories to digest the foods we eat than the calories we know those foods contain. By analyzing the combination of nutritional components of these foods, we can find out which ones are the best to eat on a negative calorie diet. The theory is, if we burn more calories than we consume, then we will lose weight. This theory is, in fact, very appealing. Here's how it works. The body has to consume energy in order to digest the food. The food ingested contains energy, but less energy than it would take to digest it. Therefore, the body would also use some energy from its fat stores to finish digesting the food. For example, an orange has about 50 calories. To process all of the nutritional components and vitamins that an orange contains, our body will burn more than just 50 calories, thus helping us lose weight. A diet using negative calories is also a great solution during periods when our body is overwhelmed with nutrition, like holidays, Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, and weddings. However, in order to be effective, it should become a healthy part of your eating habits. So if you decide to try a negative calorie diet, keep in mind the following. Make sure you only do it if your body already has too many calories stored and you won't be affecting your health by doing this. Ask your doctor if this type of diet is safe for you and what the recommended time frame for eating this way should be. Try to combine as many healthy, negative calorie foods as you can. Do not just eat oranges or other fruits that contain lots of citric acid, as they are not good for your stomach when eaten in large quantities. Review your schedule before you begin a negative calorie diet and make sure you don't have any important or stressful things to do. Stress can cause caloric burn and weight reduction. If this occurs during a diet that weakens your body, it may cause you to feel tired and listless. If you begin to feel this way, eat something more filling before continuing on. In all, negative calorie diets can be very effective, safe, and healthy means of losing weight. Many people have done so using this method while also changing their eating habits for the better. If all above points are checked, you can start a negative calorie diet today as an alternative to taking slim pills or drinking dieter's tea. It's common knowledge that in order to lose weight, we need to eat fewer calories than we expend, or expend more calories than we eat. But did you know that there is a negative calorie diet plan that contains foods that are so low in calories that just by eating them, we end up with a net loss of calories? This is what's known as a negative calorie effect. Take water, for example. Even though it doesn't have any calories, we still use up calories merely by swallowing it and by warming it up to body temperature. But there are also some foods that when we eat them, we use more energy, calories, just by eating them than the calories they actually contain. And some of the items in the negative calorie diet plan, even though they do have some calories, are not enough to count because our basal metabolic rate, or BMR, uses calories up without any additional work from us. Our BMR is the amount of energy that we need to do nothing more than breathe, circulate our blood, filter it, and remove toxins. Add to that getting in and out of bed, going to the bathroom, showering, and getting dressed. Some of our calories are already being used by things we do every day. Now imagine if you were to select a variety of things to eat from the negative calorie diet plan. You can't make your entire diet out of them because you still need proteins, fats, etc. But having these foods to keep your hunger at bay between and added to the sensible meals you've planned could be the boost your weight loss plan needs. Just by munching on the foods with negative calories, your body may use up more calories than it's taking in from that particular food. Just be sure to use this plan wisely, because if all you ever eat are those foods, your body will start taking its energy needs from your muscles. You will get weak and waste away. If you've ever seen anyone who is anorexic, it's a perfect example to show what can happen. Eating foods from the negative calorie diet plan will be a great help to your weight loss goals. Along with a healthy diet and exercise, you should see those pounds start melting away and not have to starve doing it. Free list of negative calorie foods. So you've heard about a negative calorie diet where you can eat food but lose calories. Pretty amazing, but we all know negative calorie diets are more complicated than that. It takes good organization skills to make this diet work, and at its core, you need to know exactly what foods are best and should be included more often, those that are not too bad in terms of calories, and those that you should avoid like the plague. To help you develop your plan, here is a free list of negative calorie foods to help you on your way. Apple, a great snack all the time and can be used creatively in salads. Apricots, good with breakfast cereals. Artichokes. Asparagus. Beets, can be made as sweet or sour recipes. Blackberries, a good snack and an essential part of a fruit salad. Broccoli, one of my favorites, can be enjoyed a bit crunchy or steamed. Brussels sprouts. Buffalo fish. Fish have a lot of other great nutritional advantages too. Cabbage. Great for sauerkraut. Cantaloupe. Carrot. Don't miss the humble carrot as a snack if you don't have an apple either. Cauliflower. Another great vegetable like broccoli. Celeriac. An unusual vegetable and some say an acquired taste, great in a stir-fry. Celery chicory. Celery root. Cherries. Chervil. Like parsley, a good seasoning. No one said your diet had to be boring. Chinese cabbage. Good with some garlic. Chives. Clams. Cod, another fish. Corn. Crabs. Cranberries. Cucumbers, good cooked or raw. Currants. Damson, a kind of plum but quite bitter, often used to make jams. Eggplant, one of the most underestimated vegetables, great stuffed with other foods even. Flounder, more fish. Frog legs, you don't need to be French to eat these. Garden cress, more nice seasoning. Garlic, a favorite of mine to add to almost any dish. Grapefruit. Grapes, you can eat these by the bucket load and have some other very nice properties that are good for you. Green beans. Green cabbage. Honeydew melon. Huckleberries. Kiwi. Kohlrabi, a kind of cabbage, very fleshy and sweeter than its similar cousins. Kumquats. Leeks. Lemon, another useful seasoning. This diet can be quite tasty. Lettuce. Limes. Lobster. Expensive, but if good food can be good for your weight, then go for it. Loganberries. Mangoes, a great summer fruit. Mushrooms, high in protein if you are missing your meat. Mussels. Mustard greens. Nectarine. Okra. Onion. Orange, high in vitamin C also. Oysters. Papaya. Parsley leaves. Parsnips. Peach, great in a soy smoothie. Pear, add these to your smoothie too. Peas. Pineapple. Plum. Prunes. Pumpkin, a must-have for pumpkin soup in the winter. Quince. Radishes. Raspberries. Red cabbage. Rhubarb. Rutabagas, very much like a turnip. Sauerkraut. Scallions. Sea bass. Shrimp. Some more crustaceans for your meals. Spinach. Squash. Strawberries. String beans. Tangerine. Terrapin. Tomato, always a good standard vegetable for the salad or just on its own. Turnips. Watercress. Watermelon. Chapter 3. The Negative Calorie Diet, How It Works and the Foods Included. The negative calorie diet theory has been used by many people even unknowingly. This theory requires many foods containing very little calories being added into your diet with the feedback of your body actually burning more calories than what was consumed. Our bodies are constantly using energy or calories for fuel just to function in everyday activities. This includes breathing, digestion of food, cellular interaction, and every other action or thought your body performs. Food digestion, which can take hours, uses many calories to complete the process of digestion. With that being said, eating foods that are very low in calories, such as certain vegetables, salads, and fruit, will actually burn more calories than what was ingested. In order to lose more weight in this diet, your body has to burn more calories in the stages of digestion than what is being consumed. Many of the foods included in the list of negative calorie foods are the vegetables and fruits that are filled with high contents of nutrients and vitamins. List of negative calorie foods found at the end of the article. Let's take a greater look at the physiology behind our digestive system. What is the digestive system and what does it do? All the fragments of food that is ingested by our bodies have to be broken down into nutrients that can be absorbed by the body, which is why it takes hours to fully digest food. Our protein must be broken down into amino acids, fats into fatty acids, and starches into simple sugars. Also absorbed is the water in our drinks so that our bloodstream has fluid. Digestion first begins in the mouth when we eat as our teeth chomp through the food and our saliva moistens it for easy swallowing. Amylase is the digestive enzyme found in our saliva that begins the breakdown of sugar and starches, carbohydrates, before the food leaves the mouth. Our muscle movements enforces the food leaving from the tongue and mouth to our throat, where we can swallow while the food moves into our pharynx to our epiglottis. Once the food reaches our throat, it then begins to go through our esophagus. Peristalsis starts when muscle contractions begin to force down the food into our esophagus so that it may reach our stomach. Once the food reaches the end of the esophagus, a muscular ring called a sphincter enables the food to enter our stomach. The sphincter also closes itself shut once the food has gotten below the point. GERD occurs in those whom sphincter fails to completely shut. The muscles in the stomach mix the food with acids and enzymes to break the food smaller into fragments that can be digested. Once the food has left our stomach, it has then been turned into chyme, a thick liquid. Our pylorus keeps the chyme in our stomach until it reaches the right consistency to go through our small intestine. Once the chyme is in its right form, it passes through our small intestine, where digestion continues, so that the nutrients can be absorbed to pass through our blood. From the small intestines, it then goes through our large intestine, where it comes out of the rectum. So with the negative calorie diet theory, you are eating away calories. Your body takes hours to digest food. As you can see from the information above, eating certain foods will have a negative effect, as your body will need more calories than what was ingested to complete the stages of digestion. Although this theory has had an impact on many individuals, you do need to keep in mind that your body still requires other nutrients. The negative calorie diet works on the principle that certain foods create negative calorie effects, allowing you to lose weight. The theory is extremely exciting, but exactly how does it work? This article will illustrate the way the body processes food and speeds up metabolism with the negative calorie diet. The human digestive system is a complex series of organs and glands that processes food. In order to use the food we eat, your body has to break the food down into smaller molecules that it can process. Your digestive system works extremely hard to break down and process everything you consume. The process. 1. Food is partially broken down by the action of chewing and by the chemical action of salivary enzymes. 2. Your esophagus moves everything down to your stomach, which usually takes from a few minutes to a half hour. 3. For about 4 hours, your stomach combines the food with acid and sends everything down to your small intestine. 4. For the next 4 hours, your small intestine receives very strong alkaline or digestive juices from your gallbladder and pancreas. 5. These digestive juices mix with the now liquefied food and your body starts to absorb it. 6. It may take up to 12 hours for the next process to move the remainder of any food and fluids down to your large intestine where they are absorbed into your body. 7. Any residue that is left over is eventually eliminated. When consuming a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, the entire process burns more calories than the actual caloric content of the food itself. This results in your body burning the remaining stored fat as its new source of energy, resulting in weight loss. A simple example is that a piece of rich dessert containing 400 calories. The dessert may only require 100 calories to be digested by your body, but results in an increase of 300 calories to be added to your fat storage. On the other hand, an apple containing 65 calories may require the same 100 calories to digest, but results in a decrease of 35 calories from your storage of body fat. About metabolism. The calorie deficit is very dependent on the speed of your metabolism. Advocates of the negative calorie diet encourage you to eat frequent, smaller, healthy meals. In doing so, you are actually increasing the speed of your metabolism. You cannot burn fat and lose weight by starving and skipping meals. When you starve yourself, your body tries to hold on to as much fat as possible, just as animals prepare for hibernation. This causes you to gain weight. You must speed up your metabolism instead. Negative calorie diet pros and cons. If you're looking for a solution to lose weight, there are many diet programs out there. One of them is called the negative calorie diet. This diet's basic idea is to eat foods that use more calories in digesting them than they do consuming them. A great thing about this diet is that you can eat as much of these foods as you want and not feel hungry while eating them. As with any diet, there are pros and cons to the negative calorie diet. The pros are that it's an easy-to-follow diet. You have rapid weight loss. The diet can be used in addition to other diet plans and supplements, the consuming of healthier foods, like fruits and vegetables, a boost in metabolism, not to mention the easy exercise plans and recipes. If you need to lose weight fast and love eating healthy foods like fruits and vegetables, and want to be able to eat as much as you want, this diet is right up your alley. The cons deal with the fact that once a normal diet starts again, the weight is gained back, meaning the diet is only beneficial in a short-term sense. A diet of fruits and vegetables excludes important dietary elements like proteins and fats, and preparing the food can take a lot of time. Important cons of the diet are the fact that the lack of calories can lead to serious physical problems such as dizziness, fatigue, edema, cold intolerance, and menstrual irregularity. And there has been no scientific proof that this diet is healthy or that there are certain foods that can take more calories to digest than eat. However, if you don't like eating fruits and vegetables, then this diet is not the right option for you. Overall, the negative calorie diet is a great idea if you love eating fruits and vegetables and want to lose weight fast. There are also added benefits like increasing the intake of healthy fruits and vegetables and cleansing your body of harmful toxins by eating raw food. Negative calories diet. Is it possible to have foods that burn calories? Negative calorie foods are foods that use more calories in the digestion process than are actually in the foods themselves. This results in the body burning more calories than you take in when you eat, which of course is essential for weight loss. The body has to work harder to get the calories from the food, and this gives them an excellent fat-burning advantage over many other types of food that you regularly eat. In fact, the more of these foods you eat, the more weight you will lose. The secret is to fill up on as many of these foods during the day and eat a well-balanced meal for your evening meal. Some examples of negative calorie foods are vegetables such as asparagus, beet, broccoli, cabbage, carrots, lettuce, celery, onions, and cucumber. There are also fruits that contain negative calories such as apples, oranges, pineapple, cranberries, grapefruit, lemons, and tangerines. If you do not like these vegetables and fruits, why not try them in combination with a healthy food that you do like, or try them in a juice? Using these foods as snacks throughout the day and as alternatives to dessert high in calories, you can eat the foods you enjoy at your regular meals and still maintain your normal weight. Eating more of these foods to supplement your weight loss diet and your fitness workout will help you achieve the weight loss you desire. Common negative calorie foods can also help. Apricots protect the eyes. Blackberries prevent cataracts and constipation. Black currants reduce cholesterol and prevent constipation. Cantaloupe lower blood pressure and cholesterol, prevent cataracts. Grapefruit relieve cold symptoms, reduce bruising, prevent stroke. Guava aid in digestion. Honeydew melons keep blood pressure low. Lemons heal cuts and bruises. Mandarin oranges stop inflammation. Peaches protect the eyes. Plums very high in antioxidants. Raspberries prevent cataracts and constipation. Rhubarb lower cholesterol, boost immunity, ease digestive problems. Strawberries very high in antioxidants. Tomatoes prevent cataracts, help keep older people active. Watermelon keep blood pressure low. Common negative calorie vegetables can also help. Asparagus prevent anemia and maintain new cells. Broccoli boost immunity. Cabbage prevent cataracts. Carrots improve night vision. Cauliflower inhibit tumor growth and boost immune system. Celery reduce high blood pressure. Chicory very high in vitamin C. Cress prevent cataracts and wrinkles. Fennel ease hot flashes and settle the stomach. Peppers prevent cataracts. Spinach control blood pressure and protect against. Chapter 4. Characteristics of all negative calorie foods. Negative calories foods are not foods that don't have calories. All food has calories of some kind unless it's water. Negative calorie foods are foods belonging to a diet that emphasizes foods that are low in calories, but which the body takes more energy to burn than it receives. The theory is that the normal calorie burn from digesting the food and living a normal life will wipe out the calories eaten from these foods. For example, if a slice of carrot had 10 calories but took 12 to burn, that food would have negative 2 calorie effect on your body. That doesn't mean the carrots are negative 2 calories, but that the end result of the process is to lose weight. The idea with negative calorie foods, which are always certain types of fruits and veggies, and are usually very high in fiber, and have a low number of calories to begin with. I repeat this because it's important. No foods have negative calories. The lowest you can possibly get is 0, which is water. But ice water requires the body to warm it up for use, meaning that although the calorie amounts burned are paltry, an estimated 50 calories for the recommended 8 glasses of ice water a day, that still creates a negative calorie effect since your body burned 50 calories to process ice water, which gave back 0 calories. This is what is meant by negative calorie foods. A more accurate description might be foods low in calories that produce a negative calorie effect because of how much energy it takes to burn them. But that doesn't sound very catchy. Meanwhile, the term negative calorie foods gets the same idea across. So as for the argument over whether these technically exist or not, negative calorie foods do what they are supposed to for a negative calorie foods diet. They make you lose weight. That's the entire point, isn't it? The idea of negative calorie foods works for several reasons, and most of these foods have a few things in common that make it possible. Number 1, all of these foods are extremely high in fiber. This makes it much easier for your body to digest quickly and use every nutrient while passing the rest straight on through quickly enough that it can't stick around to become fat. Number 2, all of these foods are either fruits or veggies. These food groups are commonly the healthiest types of food for you anyway, and almost never have any fat, though there are exceptions, like coconuts, which definitely do not make the negative foods list. Number 3, most all of these foods will have a high water content. This makes sense since no matter how strong a metabolic effect a food has, the higher in calories it is, the harder it will be to burn all of them off. Those are the 3 main characteristics of the so-called negative calorie foods. Pineapple, a great negative calorie food. One of the most interesting foods that often appears on the negative calorie food list is pineapple. Among negative calorie foods, pineapple is probably the highest in calories. So how can a fruit with a solid amount of calories be a negative calorie food? Well, in the negative calorie foods diet, there are many different factors in determining the amount of energy it takes to burn various types of negative calorie fruits and vegetables, and total calories is only part of that equation. While pineapple has a lot of calories for a negative calorie food, pineapple is still a fruit, meaning it has far fewer calories than grain, meat, or most other foods of the same size. Another huge benefit to pineapple, and part of the reason that pineapple remains a negative calorie food, is that it contains an enormous amount of vitamins and dietary fiber. Think cleanse the system good. Add low calories with heavy vitamins and high fiber, and the digestive enzymes go wild over this fruit, causing some who believe in the negative foods diet to strongly approve of pineapple as a great negative calorie food. I'm personally a huge fan of pineapple since it is one of the more filling of the negative calorie foods and gives a lot of energy, vitamins, and fiber that you need to get through a day. Whether or not pineapple actually has a true negative calorie effect is hard to say, and pineapple seems one of the least likely fruits or veggies on the negative calorie foods list to actually have a negative calorie effect. But even if it doesn't, pineapple is an extremely healthy fruit that has everything you need to get your digestive and metabolic systems working at full throttle. Pineapple has the expected large amount of vitamin C and nominal amounts of vitamin A, calcium, and even some iron. The biggest positive of pineapple is the huge amount of dietary fiber, as well as the good types of carbs that give you energy and keep your system balanced. If you love the flavor of pineapple and are like me, you can wolf down this negative calorie treat by the can. A very important point when looking for negative calorie fruits such as pineapple, pay attention to the ingredients. Many companies that produce pineapple add extras like sugar or high fructose corn syrup. Avoid these cans of pineapple at all cost. Look for the pineapple whose ingredients read simply, pineapple, pineapple juice. That should be all you see in there. If not, look for another can of rings or slices, or even better, buy it fresh if your local supermarket has it available. Diet using negative calories, your weight loss program. Dieting, in theory and mathematically, is simple. If you consume fewer calories than your body burns in the course of a day, you will lose weight. Plain and simple. Of course, for most of us, this remains a concept that is only successful in theory. In practice, it can be extraordinarily difficult to cut calories while raising the rate at which we burn them through exercise. For those looking to lose a few pounds or achieve significant results in a short period of time, they will often diet using negative calories. Negative calories exist in such foods that burn more calories to ingest and digest them than exist in the food itself. Many fruits and vegetables contain negative calories, and thus they are a staple in most weight loss plans today. However, keep in mind that diet using negative calories is a temporary approach to lose weight quickly, perhaps for a special event in your life, like a wedding or class reunion, or it can be quite useful during a time when caloric intake is normally high, such as after the holidays. But embarking on a diet using negative calories is not meant for long-term use, as it can be dangerous to deny your body certain nutrients for long periods of time. You'll wind up depleting muscle mass rather than fat. In order to diet using negative calories, do your research. It is imperative that you know and understand the calories that are associated with the foods you are going to include in your diet program. Look for whole foods, vegetables, and fruits. Make a list so that you know exactly what you'll be eating for this short period of time and the calories you will ingest. Next, determine how many calories you burn during the course of a single day. This will allow you to calculate how many calories you can ingest based upon the number of calories you will burn. Try to maintain a healthy balance of the foods you are eating, combining fresh vegetables and fruits. Eating only one specific fruit during your diet using negative calories will leave you feeling depleted of energy, as you'll be missing some essential vitamins. But most importantly, never embark on any weight loss program without consulting a medical professional. Your doctor will best be able to guide you through a diet using negative calories in a way that is healthy for you to achieve your weight loss goals. Any vegetable is depending on how you prepare it. If you steam them, then it will take more calories to eat and digest it than is in the vegetables. If you slather them in butter or roast them in olive oil, it won't be a negative calorie food. These negative calorie foods are also considered fat-burning foods because your body will be burning the fat in your body to help digest the food. I'm sure you've heard of the famous cabbage soup diet. The theory behind this diet is that your body will be burning fat to digest the soup. The ingredients in the cabbage soup are cabbage, carrots, tomatoes, celery, and onions. It's full of vitamin and minerals and is very healthy. All well and good, but is the food sustainable? Will you be hungry 5 minutes later? You may be. You have to eat a whole lot of soup to ward off hunger, so you may get sick of it. It's a good diet if you need to lose a few quick pounds for that special event, but it may be difficult to maintain for a long period of time. If you need to lose weight, it is always best to eat a healthy diet consisting of protein, fruits, vegetables, and grain. Whole healthy foods are the best way to lose weight instead of a fad extreme diet. A 3 to 4 ounce piece of lean protein at each meal, a cup of grain, and a cup of vegetables is the best balanced way to lose weight and keep it off for good. Low-calorie diet plans. Some math, some science. Knowing a little science when it comes to weight loss will help in understanding how and why low-calorie diet plans work. The added benefit is that it can be very helpful and encouraging in our journey to lose weight. People talk about calories. It's constantly drilled into us that we need to read the label and count your calories. But really, what is the meaning of all of it? If you think about the caloric value of fat, then it is easy to understand that the reason low-calorie diet plans work is because of a little science and a little math. It is helpful to know that 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories. Using a little bit of math, what this means is that if your goal is to lose 1 pound a week, then over the course of that week, you have to either burn off or restrict your diet or do a combination of both and come out to a negative 500 calories a day than what you would consume normally. Of course, ideally, you want to be doing a combination of exercise and diet adjustments to reach that goal when implementing your own low-calorie diet plans. This really helps put everything in perspective, and we are able to see that our low-calorie diet plans are really a cumulative effect, not just a 3-day starvation diet. As a result, hopefully we can see this and not go into a starvation diet desperation mentality, but instead see why our low-calorie diet plans are really a lifestyle commitment for the long haul that should be used in conjunction with exercise. The draw of the low-calorie diet plans is that they inherently acknowledge that our diets are not for the short term, but that they are, or should be, an adoption of a lifestyle, and that weight loss and weight maintenance is not an overnight miracle, nor is it done here and there as the whim takes us. Rather, we should understand that our caloric intake, or burn-off, is a cumulative effort and a commitment to a way of thinking. This should give you a sense of freedom, in the sense that just one slip isn't going to kill your low-calorie diet plans. Also, if the results are not as dramatic as we'd like them to be, we can change things up because we are in control. How much or how little we lose is in our hands if we simply put in the time to do the math. We can, in fact, lose more or less weight as we choose. This is freeing in the sense that we don't have to beat ourselves over a slip in our diets, but be encouraged that all our efforts with implementing low-calorie diet plans are cumulative, and we'll see the fruit of our labors. Our goal is to becoming healthier and for our appearance to become more youthful as make changes to our lifestyle. Get the help you need so that you can successfully achieve your dieting goals. Get access to tools and information so you can really get started on that road to a new you. Are you ready to start your journey? The 500 a day low-calorie diet caution. You may find yourself getting pretty exasperated if you've tried every diet under the moon, stars, and sun and have yet to see some results. It's possible you are considering trying calorie-low diets such as the 500 a day low-calorie diet plan. But before you do this, you should take a few things into consideration, as otherwise you may see adverse results. Despite the low number of calories one consumes on the 500-calorie diet, it delivers one of the worst results. Any diet on which you consume fewer than 1,200 calories a day is considered an extremely low-calorie diet. It's not something you want to do long-term. Most people will go on a 500-calorie diet in conjunction with another long-term diet they are on to lose fat faster and accelerate their weight loss once it has started to slow down. It's a way to kick the weight loss back into gear. The reason people don't stay on it for long is because of negative consequences if not done correctly. This includes health risks, as well as actually making you weigh more than before you even started. The goal of any diet is simple: burn more calories than you eat. However, your body can go into shock if it doesn't get enough calories, and then it can enter what is known as starvation mode. In starvation mode, your body isn't getting the energy it needs from calories and will turn to other sources, such as muscle mass, which slows down your metabolism, something you don't want when dieting. To shed pounds, you'll need to build muscle to burn calories, not destroy it. The amount of calories a person should be consuming in one day can vary from person to person. Factors affecting this number include gender, height, body type, how active the person is, lifestyle, and overall health. If you are still convinced you'd like to go on an extremely low-calorie diet, you should talk with a nutritionist or dietitian before proceeding to determine if it's something that's right for you. If you are overweight and consume more than 2,000 calories a day normally, suddenly cutting down to only 500 will probably kick your body into starvation mode quickly. Your body will try and save its energy and will start to burn away at your muscle mass. This will have an adverse reaction on your natural metabolism, and it will start to slow down. It's much healthier to slowly cut down the amount of calories you consume and get your body used to it slowly. Another factor with a 500-calorie diet is once you go off it and go back to eating the way you were prior, it's possible your body will pack on weight quickly, and in the end, you'll end up weighing more than you did before you even started the diet. Rather than forcing yourself to stick to 500 calories, reduce the amount of calories you normally eat by 500. This will result in normal, healthy weight loss that is easier to keep off while still keeping your metabolism high. If you're not sure how many calories to eat, you can use the body mass calculator. This tool will tell you the number of calories you should be eating to stay at your current weight without exercising more than you already do. Once you know this number, take away 500 calories and consume that amount. You are putting yourself at risk if you're only eating 500 calories a day, and it should not be done unless you talk to a professional first. If you gradually lower the amount of calories you consume, it may be safer to go on a 500-calorie diet for a few days to speed up weight loss. But you shouldn't stay on it more than just a few days. Otherwise, you are at a high risk for entering starvation mode. It is only recommended for limited use under strict medical supervision for those who are morbidly obese, those with a body mass index of over 30. It is, however, growing in popularity among those with a lower BMI. Witness the number of websites touting the supposed quick and easy weight loss available through the 500-calorie diet plan. Programs such as the grapefruit diet, the cabbage soup diet, and Sacred Heart diet are sprouting up all over. What they all have in common is a plan to limit the daily intake of calories to under 800 and, more typically, to no more than 500. While that will cause dramatic weight loss during the prescribed 4 to 16 weeks of the diet, it can also result in severe health consequences to those who stay on the diet longer or who are under the BMI 30 threshold to begin with. Cutting calories also cuts the nutrients your body needs. The 500-calorie diet plan dramatically limits vitamins, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and fiber. Just the reduction in fiber means dieters can have major problems with constipation and diarrhea. Carbohydrates are needed for energy and concentration. Protein loss will show up as dull hair and skin. The 500-calorie diet plan also can lead to gallstones and gout. Thanks to the imbalance of bile salts and cholesterol, gallstone formation is the most common serious side effect of a low-calorie diet. Gout can appear with a change in uric acid levels. More insidious is that a low-calorie diet can trick the body into thinking it is being malnourished and so needs to begin storing fat. This can cause the absorption of good tissue if there is not enough fat available. At the same time, the body's metabolism will slow in an effort to reduce the need for burning fat. Some dieters who keep getting on and off the 500-calorie diet plan also can develop eating disorders because they find it difficult to return to normal eating habits. So the onslaught of bulimia and anorexia nervosa can be included among the negatives related to low-calorie intake. Those who flat out should not even consider the 500-calorie diet plan, according to doctors, are pregnant or lactating women, those over 50, children, and people with conditions such as cardiovascular disease or kidney dysfunction. For some, probably the worst news about the quick weight loss scheme is that it most likely will not last. Yes, at first the pounds will come off and the loss will be noticeable. However, much of the weight loss will have been water, and that cannot be sustained once the dieter returns to a fairly regular diet. The weight will return, particularly if the metabolism has been affected. So the best diet remains a healthy diet of fruits, vegetables, proteins, grains, and fats. Add to that plenty of exercise, and you'll have the formula for healthy weight loss. Chapter 5. The number of calories to lose weight. Calorie is the measure of energy in a food. Scientifically, 1 calorie is that amount of energy that is needed to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree centigrade. The calorie needs of different people are different. The calories that are derived from our food are needed for the functioning of one's body to keep us living and for doing other activities. 60 to 65% of the calories one consumes are expended for carrying out body functions such as breathing, digestion, blood purification, heart beating, maintaining body temperature, etc. Another 10% is expended in processing the food that is consumed. A minimum of 1,200 calories per day is required to just keep you living. A lower calorie intake than that will decrease your iron level and lower down your metabolism. Different people, different calorie needs. Many factors, such as one's age, size, gender, weight, height, activity level, and the climatic condition of the surrounding environment, determines the calorie needs of an individual. The smaller body size and the warm environmental temperatures make the calorie requirement of those living in tropical climate conditions lower than that of the same age group of people living in temperate regions. Similarly, age also has a vital role in determining your calorie needs. A person in his or her mid-20s will have the peak calorie needs of 2,300 calories per day. A gradual declination in this amount occurs as your age increases. The decrease in the calorie needs with increasing age is partially accounted to increase in fat accumulation. Next is the gender factor. Generally, men need 5 to 10% more calories than women. This is because men have greater percentage of lean muscles in their body. However, pregnant and lactating women need about 300 to 500 more calories each day than what they usually need. Physical activity is another important factor determining calorie needs of individuals. A person whose work involves more physical labor will have higher calorie needs than another who leads of his same age leading a sedentary lifestyle. Calorie contents of different types of food. Various kinds of nutrients provide different amounts of calories. Approximately, carbohydrates and proteins contain about 4 calories per gram of their weight. There are about 9 calories in a gram of dietary fat and around 7 calories in a gram of alcohol. This obviously shows that a reduction in the intake of foods containing more fat and drinks that are alcoholic will reduce your calorie intake. Dieting, however, doesn't mean only consuming low-calorie foods. Your diet should also be nutritious on the other hand. A nutritious diet plan will aid in weight loss through various ways. The first and the foremost way is through your metabolism. Metabolism is the term used to refer the way your body processes and uses the food you eat. There are a number of minerals and vitamins needed to maintain the efficiency of your metabolism. A proper metabolism will be hampered if your body lacks any of these minerals and vitamins. This will in turn affect your weight loss pattern adversely. Secondly, a lack in proper nutrition will create problems in digestion. The food that you eat will not be digested and assimilated properly. The digestive system needs nutrition like minerals and vitamins. Besides, it also requires dietary fiber. The gastrointestinal tract, also known as the GI tract, is benefited if your intake of dietary fiber is plenty, as this helps to clean up the tract and prevent constipation and indigestion-related complaints like IBS and diverticulosis. Here are some other types of food that are related to weight loss and gain. Empty calorie foods. Empty calorie foods are the worst kind of foods from the nutritional and calorie point of view. These are those drinks and foods that add many calories to your diet with little or no nutrition at all. They provide no vitamins, minerals, or disease-fighting phytochemicals to your body compared to the calories they add. People who are overweight or obese, or those who are trying to lose their body weight, should avoid empty calorie foods. Energy drinks, carbonated beverages, sweets, regular sodas, soft drinks, candies, etc. Calorie-dense foods. Foods high in fat calories and foods high in both fat and sugar come under the category of calorie-dense foods. They include sausages, butter, mayonnaise, full-fat cheese, white flour muffins, certain types of commercial popcorn, rich bread snacks, candies, etc. Calorie-dense foods are usually processed foods. They are not recommended for those anticipating to lose their weight. Negative calorie foods. Negative calorie foods are those foods that burn more calories for their processing than what they actually contain. The calories that these foods contain pose much resistance, and your system has to apply much energy to break them down. This provides these foods with a natural and ample fat-burning ability. Consume these foods in order to lose weight fast. Asparagus, celery, lettuce, onions, papayas, spinach, turnip, cucumbers, chili peppers, green cabbage, broccoli, carrots, beets, mangoes, cauliflower, garlic, zucchini, pineapple, oranges, raspberries, strawberries, grapefruit, cranberries, lemons, apples, tangerines, etc. are all negative calorie foods. Fat-burning foods. There are certain foods that help you in many different ways, each in burning down your body fat fast. Examples of such kind of foods are avocados, olives, green tea, ice-cold water, chilies, spinach, eggs, baby potatoes, sweet potatoes, cinnamon, almonds, seeded breads, oily fishes, oatmeal, whole wheat pasta, beans, pulses, etc. In order to have the best kind of weight loss through calorie control, include all groups of foods in your daily diet. Include even fats, but the right kind of fats, like the polyunsaturated and monounsaturated foods. Aim to lose not more than 2 pounds of your body fat per week. Don't cause a complete calorie control that is relied entirely on your diet. Burn about 50% of the calories that you want to cut from your daily intake through exercise. Exercises will not only help you lose weight, but also shape and tone you up. Low-calorie vegetables, the kind of vegetables to pick and their nutrition value. How many servings of vegetables are you supposed to consume in a day? The answer would be 5 to 13 servings, but surprisingly, you eat only 3 servings a day or maybe less, an amount too far below the recommended amount. Including lots of vegetables in the diet can help prevent various diseases. Among these are heart ailment, high blood pressure, some types of cancer, and macular degeneration. Vegetables contain important nutrients such as vitamins and minerals, phytochemicals, and antioxidants. Loaded with nutrients, vegetables are usually low in calories and are very beneficial to people who want to lose weight. More colorful vegetables are more nutritious, thus try to pick those that are dark in color, green, yellow, and orange. These foods are good sources of vitamins A, C, and E. Vitamin A promotes eye and skin health. Vitamin C makes your immune system stronger. They are rich in potassium, which is necessary in controlling high blood pressure. Folic acid is essential in forming red blood cells. These low-calorie foods do not contain cholesterol, thus lowering your risk of heart ailment. Full of antioxidants and dietary fiber, you lower your risk of colon cancer. Here is a guide to the most nutritious kinds of vegetables. There are 3 essential tips in choosing the kinds to include in your diet. Pick the green-colored vegetables, especially the leafy ones. You should also choose summer veggies and less starchy kinds. These are all healthy, but are low in calories. The suggested green leafy vegetables that are low in calories are lettuce, spinach, and cabbage. Other low-calorie greens are celery and cucumber. A cup of shredded cabbage contains 32 calories. The same amount of spinach has 40 calories. A cup of celery has only 20 calories. Sometimes 0 or negative calories. This is because it takes too much energy to digest the celery, which may even consume some of your stored energy. This is the reason why celery is very good for people on weight loss regimen. Try to stick to the summertime vegetables which are dark in color. You can have summer squash and zucchini. Other summertime veggies that are low in calories are tomatoes, radishes, and mushrooms. A cup of cooked mushrooms has 40 calories. Half cup of radishes contains only 10 calories, while a medium-sized tomato has 25 calories. If you are counting your calories, you should refrain from eating too starchy foods. Most of these are loaded with calories. A cup of starchy vegetables normally contains 150 calories. 2 kinds of squash belong to this category. These are the butternut and acorn varieties of squash. Other starchy vegetables are potatoes, parsnips, peas, and corn. The non-starch kinds are broccoli, lettuce, turnips, cauliflower, celery, and green bell peppers. Can the negative calorie effect increase metabolism? The only way eating food can increase metabolism is through the thermic effect. This is the process of digesting and absorbing food. In particular, the burning of calories our body expends to complete the process. Viewed in this light, all foods have the ability to increase metabolism. Yet these foods boost metabolism by only 5 to 10%. This means that eating this kind of food alone is not enough to cause you to lose significant amounts of weight. You might ask yourself, why bother? Well, combining this diet with regular exercise, such as cardio workouts, is the key to boosting your metabolism, burning fat, and losing weight. However, if you maximize your intake of thermic foods through a negative calorie diet plan, you will make the effect more meaningful. Just eating them will result in burning more calories than you are taking in, and they have the ability to boost your metabolism. Negative calorie effect foods and weight loss. This effect is found in foods such as fruits, especially watermelons, papaya, berries, and citrus. Almost all vegetables fall in this category. If you need to lose a few pounds quickly, eating these foods 3 to 5 days a week should suffice. If you want a more sustainable weight loss, you should incorporate them in each meal. When you compare the calorie burning rate of these foods against protein, fat, and carbohydrates, it looks something like this. These foods burn more calories than they contain. You can equate this to plus 100% calorie burning value. Fats actually have the least value on metabolism as they burn the fewest calories because they go straight to our body's fat storage. So our body uses very little calorie burning energy to digest and absorb them. This applies to carbohydrates too. Refined carbohydrates like sugar, for instance, use little calorie burning energy to convert them to fat. They also release more insulin into the bloodstream, which increases appetite, encouraging eating. Increased eating leads to higher levels of fats and calories being stored in the body. Protein can burn up to 25% of the calories contained in it, yet the thermic effect only constitutes around 5 to 10% of calorie expenditure. It is true that all foods contain at least some energy, yet negative calorie foods contain so little that the body has to use more energy to digest them. This achieves a net loss of calories, resulting in a negative balance, which is helpful to lose weight. A diet high in certain fresh fruits and vegetables will provide this. Most people will not stay on a diet for a myriad of reasons, and it normally cannot be adapted to a new style of eating, a lifestyle change. Admittedly, some people have hereditary or genetic situations that they cannot overcome, but which cause them to become overweight. However, for anyone, at least a portion of what made someone overweight is a part of their lifestyle choices, and it is these choices which must be changed in order for permanent weight loss to occur. Limiting nutritional intake or restricting access to a wide selection of nutritional options, such as in the grapefruit or cabbage soup diet, also limits the individual's access to nutrients necessary to normal health. Eating some foods or types of foods in excess may contribute to other health problems in some people. Our bodies have been designed to operate and react in certain ways, and this includes how they react and function when changes occur in our diet. One of the effects of a failed attempt is that the body may actually put back on more weight than it originally had to contend with, and may even continue to gain over a prolonged period of time following coming off the program. True, permanent weight loss for health and fitness hinges on 3 central points: regular physical activity, periods of rest, a sensible diet. Diet if you must, but realize that your health and for permanent weight loss, you must do more. One last point. If you do choose to go on a diet, please take a daily multivitamin to help replace the nutrients you are missing. Thanks again for buying my book. If you have a minute, please leave a review. I take reviews seriously and always look at them. That way you are helping me provide you better content that you will love in the future. A review doesn't have to be long, just 1 or 2 sentences and a number of stars you find appropriate. Hopefully 5, of course. Also, if I think your review is useful, I will mark it as helpful. This will help you become more known on Amazon as a decent reviewer, and will ensure that more authors will contact you with free ebooks in the future. This is how we can help each other. Disclaimer: this information is provided as is. The author, publishers, and/or marketers and narrator of this information disclaim any loss or liability, either directly or indirectly, as a consequence of applying the information presented herein or in regard to use and application of said information. No guarantee is given, either expressed or implied, in regard to the merchantability, accuracy, or acceptability of the information. The pages within this ebook. This has been Negative Calorie Diet, Weight Loss Plans and Meals for Low-Calorie Dieters. Written by Shelby Anderson. Narrated by Mark Booker. Copyright 2018 by Shelby Anderson. Production copyright 2018 by Shelby Anderson.